Spring break and COVID variants are the perfect recipe for level orange. Phil Lindemann with their news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. First, early this morning with temperatures in the single digits, Manny from Morrison left Dillon for day 2 of a huge mission.
I'm doing a run for St. Jude from Morrison, Colorado to UCLA Medical in LA, going through 5 states.
Krystal met Manny when he rolled into Dillon yesterday after riding and walking nearly 60 miles, including unplowed rec path.
I got tired of carrying my bike, man. It's 10 degrees outside. I'm carrying my bike until they told me, hey man, take I-70.
He hopes to raise $2,000 in 1,400 miles, and it's all for the kids.
They're the heroes. They're the one making me do this. They're the one I look up to, because they can't I can pull over and get a hotel like I'm doing now. These kids, they got to fight through this.
Donate now by searching Love Walk at events.stjude.org. Ski patrollers at Keystone have voted against joining a union. It came down to one vote, 35 to 34, cast by 88 part-time and full-time patrollers. 9 ballots were contested and not counted. Next up is the Breckenridge Ski Patrol, voting to unionize in mid-April. Colorado's transit and public works departments are hurting for commercial drivers. Mike Timlin with CDOT.
That driver has to have a commercial driver's license to be able to operate the big buses, trucking companies, the CDOT plows. Everyone's suffering a shortage of CDL drivers.
Timlin says drug testing requirements make CDL licensing hard, but that is not all.
Transit isn't a 9-to-5 job. Basically, you're working longer hours or you're working split shifts. So it's harder to recruit younger people for that.
CDOT hopes to skirt some of this issue with a new passenger van service. 14 passenger vans do not require a CDL. This week on the State of Summit.
I think it is deeply flawed for the state to put us in orange when we are, 4 days away from the end of our high season, when we know that a significant number of folks are going to leave our community come Monday.
That was County Commissioner Tamara Pogue, frustrated with the state's decision to impose stricter COVID limits by this Saturday. Commissioner Elizabeth Lawrence calls it unfair, pointing to other surges in neighboring counties.
Peer counties, resort communities have gone well above and beyond their dial numbers for a long time, and they were not moved. And so this seems like we're being held to a different, quite strict standard here.
But County Manager Scott Vargo confirms there is a loophole.
If we have a day in between now and Saturday where we're below, then they would rescind that letter. Is that true?
That's correct.
New limits would include half capacity at restaurants and gyms and indoor events capped at 50 people. Officials blame a 6-week surge on spring break travel from visitors and locals and virus variants. Health Director Amy Wineland.
In the last 2 weeks, 27% of our positive cases are variant cases.
If you test positive for a variant, you will be quarantined for 14 days. That's double the requirement for the standard bug. Tune in again next Wednesday for the State of Summit on Krystal 93. Tomorrow is opening day for Breckenridge Summer Camp registration. That includes mountain camp, skate camps, and more, starting June 7th for kids between 5 and 12 years old. Get registered at BreckenridgeRecreation.com. In sports, the Avalanche play the Coyotes tonight at 7:30. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, Summit High Boys Soccer plays Steamboat away tonight, still searching for their first win of the season. And Gold Run Nordic Center in Breckenridge is hosting a 2-day virtual race this week, tomorrow and Friday, with events and prizes for Classic and Skate. Get signed up at BreckenridgeRecreation.com. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.